Hey guys, we're live. Just getting things set up here. Change my video to smooth.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I have it on. Sometimes I have it on original. Let's see. Today maybe today's going to be a focus day like that,
I got new glasses.
or black and white.
Oh, what was that? Oh,
Me, I'm going to be black and white today. No, I'm just going to be in smooth. Smooth.
we named our puppy Dexter.
That's cool.
Once we've been watching the series. I think I told you last week.
Yeah. I'm afraid of clowns. Mitch loves serial killers.
But he's, like I said before, he's a good one. He's only killing baby.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Well, I thought I don't know. It's so many contradictions. Doesn't the Bible say an eye for an eye and tooth for tooth or
Yeah, but
something?
that's Old Testament. You got to consider grace now.
That's me. I'm the Old Testament.
All right.
I don't know. I believe in a little bit.
I am ready when you guys are.
That passage was actually more grace and truth because what it was addressing was not over punishing, but making the punishment fit the crime.
What's the difference between the new one and the old? I don't know what the new one is. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's thousands of pages there. We could address it after the show. I don't want to take 15 seconds and sum it up in a bumper sticker.
I'm just.
Martin could, but I can't.
Well, yeah, but anyways,
I got these heated arguments on Facebook.
Actually, I can sum it up in a bumper sticker. The Old Testament is anticipation of the arrival of Christ, and the New Testament is the everything that happens during and afterward. I got a phone call here. I got to take real quick.
yeah, no worries. Well, and also Old Testament's a lot of law.
Hello?
So
Yeah.
I think Tim's phone's upside down. Let's watch.
Oh, I think he finally muted.
Is it upside down?
I don't know.
My charger's on the bottom of my phone.
Mine is too.
I think his phone's upside down. I think Tim's crazy.
Are you getting a new phone?
No, I just got a new phone not too long ago.
What'd you get? I forgot already.
Galaxy S5.
Oh. New. The 6 is out or just about out, and the
Yeah.
Edge and the HTC M9.
Oh yeah, I needed something with expandable memory.
Yeah, mine has it. Well, I don't know if the 9 has it. The 8 has it, but I have 100 and what is it? 100. No, I got 32 gigs. I think I can put like 64 in it. I forgot what it is.
Yeah, my wife can put quite a bit in hers, and I just haven't bought. That's one of the things I need to do is buy an SD card. I need to keep my eyes out for that, a micro SD, because I have 64 in mine, but mine will take up to 128, where hers will take only up to 64. I guess I could stop.
I think it's,
That too.
but I don't mess around too many apps. But I do let the automatic updating. Well, I mean, I turned the automatic part off, but I still let it update all the time. I just got what's the new one? The new OS
Lollipop.
Yeah, not too many problems. It's slow to shut down and start up though. It's not as fast as it was, but
Yeah.
but the 9. See, I only have a 4 mega camera, 4 megapixel camera. But the new one came out with a 20. But it's still the review and listen to Twit. The better cameras are on the Samsung still.
Yeah. So I just noticed that I just noticed that. Well, I got to talk to Dora about that. Maybe we're not the latest version yet. Hey, Tim, is your charger on the top of your phone?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were holding your phone upside down.
What are you on now? Are you still on the Razor or?
Yeah, Mitch, that I still have the Razor. Hers, it's a long story, but I actually have 2 new phones coming. I think tomorrow or day after. So.
What are you getting?
The M8.
Oh,
That's what you have, right?
it's you'll be amazed. No, I mean I might have had a couple crashes on a couple applications here and there, not very often. It just runs so smooth.
That's why I'm getting it. I mean, I got friends that they just research the hell out of it, and that's
You know,
that's what they finally arrived at. I mean, and that was last June. So and I got with them again. I said, "What do you guys think?" They're like, "We'd get it again."
I used to download. I don't use a iPod or I mean a program to automatically download my.
Yeah.
I just download it manually, and I used to put it on my Sansa clip or the. Now I just do everything streaming with that. It just works good. In the M8.
Awesome. So, anyway.
All right, I got you. All right, both recorders are going.
In Pac-Man.
What?
I'm playing Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
Probably in Google Maps or something.
Yeah, I just thought I'd click on it and check it out, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. I am ready to go when you guys are.
Let's do it, baby.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Geeksters, episode 153. This is a show where we talk about all things geeky. If it's got a computer in it, at some point we're going to talk about it, whether it's from phones to, we could even say an iPad. Shutter. There's a little shutter there. To watches, to Raspberry Pis, to laptops, desktops, even my little boogie board here that we'll talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I am Martin Abando, one of the hosts here on Geeksters. Hey, before we get going, I do want to thank Instant House Call for being a supporter of the Podnuts Network. Geeksters is part of that. If you go to podnuts.com on the right-hand side, you're going to see a little ad there for what's called their Uno edition. It's their unlimited remote support for one session at a time. So a lot of times, maybe you're just a small tech, you're just starting out, and you just need connection to one person at a time. You don't need the full, a full plate of a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe you don't have a whole lot of money. I get it. I've been there. I think we've all been there at one point or another. But $29 a month gets you one remote support session, unlimited, one remote support session at a time. So head on over to podnuts.com. And check it out. It's going to be there right on the right-hand side. It's called the Uno Edition. So thanks, Instant House Call, for being a supporter of the Podnuts Network. Hey, guys. Hey, Tim. Hey, Mitch. How was your week? Yeah, Mitch is nodding his head a little bit. He's speechless.
I'm not doing anything. I have two laptops that were donated to me today. One of them's like an E-machine with Windows 7. The other one is a Dell with XP on it.
An E-machine?
An E-machine laptop. Yep.
Are those still? I didn't even think they existed anymore.
Well, I mean, it's probably has some age on it, but it's got a HDMI port in Windows 7, so it can't be all that old. We'll
No,
see.
I had an E-machine early on, and I remember that it was running. Must have been Windows XP at the time, but it was a desktop. It wasn't a laptop.
Oh yeah.
I know who bought E-machine.
I think it was
It was who?
Acer and Gateway or something. I believe.
Yeah, I think Gateway rings a bell, but I don't know. I wasn't sure if they were bought out or just kind of faded into the ether.
I don't know. I don't know.
To the Google.
I would comment, but I haven't been introduced yet.
Well, I'm getting there. So I looked that up.
Well, I was trying to.
I'm sitting here like, got my hand in the air. Teacher, you call me. He's like, well, I have. You'll probably wait till like a few minutes after the first hour to introduce me. I'll just sit here.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Mr. Tim Bauermeister?
Hey, everybody, how you doing? Woo! All right, yeah, okay.
All right, Tim, who bought E-machine? That was.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought that you knew the
No,
answer.
I didn't know. Acer got E-machines and Gateway.
Exactly.
Which, of course, E-machines was always just like the El Cheapo, like the Happy Meal of computers. Here's your box of stuff and get out of here. And there were issues with quality there. Not that that's ever been an issue with large companies like HP. But when Acer took them, there was just a lot. It was. I believe there was just a bit of rebranding there, and so this was solid hardware. I actually have had some customers that got some E-machine stuff, and laptops and that. Geez, taking them apart and that. There was least the ones that I have handled, very nice equipment. I think that they don't have Acer anymore. Maybe it's been maybe a year or two.
Acer, I just bought an Acer. What are you talking about?
I think Acer does not have e-machines anymore. I don't think they use that e-machine. I don't know if they use the brand anymore. I think Acer also has Packard Bell, which is that's a name from the.
Yeah, my first computer was a Packard Bell.
Yeah, mine. Which you know what, Packard Bell. I want to say that maybe that brand is used more overseas than it is here.
Yeah.
Our friends in the UK may be able to comment on that.
Well, here's what I found. eMachine was founded in 1998. In 2004, Gateway acquired eMachines for $30 million, and then in 2007, Acer came and bought Gateway, including the eMachine brand, for $710 million.
I think they bought Gateway. They got the eMachines because they had a coupon.
you buy a $600 million, we'll throw in $110 million for free.
I see.
Right. It was a computer business in a box, just like eMachine.
January 24th, 2013, Acer sheds eMachines.
Yep.
Gateway and Packard Bell.
Oh, eMachines. So I talked about this last week. My little sync here, the boogie board.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Oh.
I really wish there was a couple features that it did. So, so if you're hearing it, you may have to go back and watch the video. So I did purchase the sleeve with it. A little magnetic slip here, and the boogie board actually just slides right on out. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the video here. The boogie board just slides right out. So this is, let me show you the sleeve. So all this is just strictly a sleeve.
Okay.
It doesn't.
It has no function other than acting as a sleeve.
Acting as a sleeve. So you get the board, and on the board, so the pin is the right-hand side, so that's up. On the board, you just have the screen. This is just for the little top has some places it almost looks like it would be lines to write in. There's some on the bottom, and then the back is fully that. And I kind of thought, oh, that's pretty sweet because you can write, like it gives you lines to follow. Not functional, just pretty.
It's decorative.
Just decorative.
So it doesn't. Oh god, it kind of looks like it has some like touchpad function to it or something. Strictly decorative then.
Strictly decorative. Right. So the pin just slips in. All it is just a holder here. It's a little molded, and the pin just kind of snaps in. That's all it is. On the pin itself, it has a little stylus at the very end there. It's hard. It doesn't push in. There is a button here, and that button is for a left click. So when a right click. So when you tether this to your Windows machine, you can via Bluetooth or just through the HDMI, or sorry, through the USB to micro USB there. This can act as a touchpad. So for a mouse, you can write on this and it shows up on the screen. So that's kind of cool, but that's only to a Windows machine. It doesn't. I believe there are probably maybe Mac drivers, but nothing that way for Linux. And then the rest of the pin is just. This is not even a clip. It's just a spacer to help lock it into the holder.
Okay.
With it being off, you can write on it. It's e-ink. I'm trying to find a picture here. It is e-ink, so when you do write on it, and then it just comes there. It's blue, and it doesn't. You can't smudge it off or anything. So you can write on it with it being off. It doesn't need to be on. The only time you ever need to have it on is if you're going to do anything with it. So little button down here in the bottom corner. It turns on. The light there changes colors. And it will sync then. You can turn on the Bluetooth and it will sync to your phone. So the two buttons here are erase and save. So if I hit erase, you can watch this. You can watch it. It all goes away. It kind of flashes and then just goes away. If you hit save, it saves it locally. But then if you have it Bluetooth synced, it will sync automatically to your phone.
I have a problem.
Yeah.
It's dark. The background's dark.
Yeah, you can see that it lights up, and it actually, with it being on, it is a lot lighter. with it then being off. But like I said, what's nice is you can just turn it off, put it back in the sleeve, and don't ever have to worry about this ever going anywhere. One of the,
I assumed it was going to be something like a Notepad or something.
well, right. So I got it, and I thought, this is cool. Set it up, hooked it up, Bluetoothed it to my phone, and thought, great. Hit save a couple times and erased it, and it did what it needed to do. And then I thought, great, now I want to restore something. No, you can't do that. That's really what I was hoping for, because it does say that it will store up to 5,000 PDFs, because it natively, when you save it, it saves it as a PDF on the device. I thought, great, then I can recover those PDFs from the device, and that is not a function. So what I was going to use it for was to really kind of replace my Notepad and have this as my to-do list, take it to client shops, and I have done that, but what's on the screen is on the screen. If you go to save it, you save it, and then to access that data again, you either need to print it or you need to rewrite it. There's no way to recover it back onto the screen itself. So I kind of threw out then that kind of really eliminated the whole use this as an ongoing to-do list and swap between pieces of actual physical pieces of paper, because there's no way to do that. But I did take it on the job, a job that I'll talk about later on in the show, and I was able to write down some notes. Saved it, and then was able to print out or pull those notes up and then combine them into a final document. I'll be taking it, like I said, to a Linux conference, and I'll be able to do it that way. Maybe one of the sessions, type my notes out, and then save it. Next session, save it, and then I don't have to worry about actually pulling a piece of paper with me. But once you save it, you can't pull it back up.
Strange.
Okay. So when you're on site, you're using it. It's not actually tethered to anything or connected. You're just writing directly on the thing.
Writing directly on the thing.
Okay. And so I guess what I didn't realize about the thing was that it's like a not exactly like a dry erase board, but I didn't realize that as you were writing on it, you could actually see what do they call it? You see it at restaurants where they write the menus at the front door.
Right.
But it's with different pens. It writes on there, makes different colors or whatever. So I didn't realize that it did that. Now, see, I think that's pretty cool. It's not like just a blank. I'm trying to think what you would call a device that's used to connect. You would see artists that connect it to the computer, and they could actually. I'm trying to think what they even call the thing, but that I thought it was something more like that. But okay, so if you have it. So I imagine as you were using it, it was always tethered to your phone or some such device. But you're saying as you use it, it saves it in the device as a PDF.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
If you sync it, if you have it set up to sync Bluetooth, so it's connected to your phone, when you hit save, it shows up on your phone as a PDF.
Okay.
In the app itself, it has its own special app.
Gotcha. Well, if it's not, but as you okay, so it has a battery in it that has to be charged, right? And there's onboard storage.
Yep.
But if you're using it while it's tethered to a device, can all that text that you're making show up?
Yes.
In an application that can then be saved otherwise?
Yes. If you have it tethered to your Windows machine, it shows up, and you can you install the little executable that comes with it, or you just download it from their webpage, and you open it up, and then you can write on it. And you can see it on the screen. Does that make sense? So you could be looking at it. Yeah. So you can actually see the writing on the boogie board itself, and it shows up on the screen. You can switch it over so you can make it be a mouse pad. Ice cream truck.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. So you can actually hold it and double click or double tap on the device itself, and it will highlight or move icons around or stuff like that. So. That's all based on the application running within Windows, and it's tethered micro USB to or mini USB, whatever, to USB on your device. When you have this off, you can write, turn it on, hit save, never be Bluetooth tethered or anything like that. But as soon as you turn it on and you sync it like Bluetooth with your phone, everything you just put on there will go to your phone. and
Gotcha.
it will stay on here. When you plug this in, it shows up as an external device, and you can go and look at recent items, and then I think there's 2 folders: saved and deleted. So if you've accidentally deleted something or erased something, you can go get it back. But
Gotcha.
so it's great for a one-time use, but for an ongoing to-do list where you're going to add and remove to it, well, you can't remove, you're going to cross out your lines and you're going to, continue on with something. That's where the flaw, that's a big flaw that I have with it, is that I can't recover anything. There's I have a Kindle. I've got mini Kindles, and I have one of the original Kindles, and at least in there you can switch between books.
Right.
So in other words, you can't edit the same document over and over and over again.
No, I know there's no erase function, so there's no way to have like a to-do list, save it, write notes regarding a site, save it, open back up the to-do list, cross off that you did what you needed to do, save that, and open back up your notes for your client. You cannot be, what is on there, when you save it, you either have to save it and then erase it, or just erase it and then move on.
Nah.
Ah.
I mean,
Yeah. So that's my flaw. That's my flaw on this, is that but like I said, I did take it to a site and I started to write notes on it, and then I grabbed a piece of paper because we were doing something else, so I had 2 notes that I had to combine into one later on. But I think it is going to come in handy at a conference, or if you're in a meeting, to take some notes on it and save that way. You cannot, when you save it, it saves as its own. It's a PDF, but it numbers itself. So maybe across the top you wrote meeting with Tim, and you wrote your notes, and you saved it, and you wrote meeting with Mitch, saved it. Then when you go to grab it, all you're going to see is BB, which is boogie board, and a string of numbers. So you're going to have to open or look at each one to figure out which, or know what time about what time. Yeah. So there's no way to save it and save it as a file name. It has potential. Out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8, maybe, but it has potential. I think they could make it much better, and I understand that may increase the cost a little bit. But if they made this a full digital notepad where you could recover data or open and close data, I don't really care about erasing as much. But if they could open and close it, I think that would fit the bill, and would be something that I could use daily, all the time.
Right.
I think the Note 4 would have suit you just fine, Martin, because it comes with a stylus.
Well, yeah, but this is $90.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you were getting a new phone anyway, but it's probably...
Well, no, that was a while ago. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Yes.
The Note 4 is free if you find one laying like on a restaurant table somewhere. Or...
Yeah.
So
I ended up not taking it with me on vacation because I didn't see any use for it. Because I played with it the first day, and it was one of those things where I opened it up, sweet, plugged it in, turned it on, played with it for about 10 minutes, and then felt like I hit a wall and went, well,
yeah,
it's been 10 minutes. I know what I can do with it. I know what I can't do with it. Well, I'll use it when I get back. It wasn't one of those things where it's like, oh, every day I'm finding something new. It's kind of like, well, you kind of all the cards are kind of shown right away, and you see the limitations of the device.
Well, you tried.
Yeah, and I'm going to take it back to I'm going to follow up with my client, who is the one who prompted all of this, and show him what I found and how it works, and it may work exactly what he's looking for, but I'm going to use it. Like I said, it's that one little thing.
It almost sounds like the device has. It's pretty specific. Here you buy it. This is what you do with it, and there you go. And it has a lot of potential if. Especially if anybody got the code, was hacking at, and they found a way to get in there and customize what's going on there. It sounds like it has the potential for being a very it has a lot of potential if it can be hacked, if the hacker community picks up and runs with it. But it's easy to become. I know I'm awfully jaded with the devices we carry, the tablets and the phones and everything, because they do so much, and there's a lot, and with hacks and ROMs and everything, they and apps, they could do so much more. It's to get a single purpose kind of device like this. I mean, it's so 2000.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could get the Boogie Board Jot for $30, so probably a third of the cost. The only thing is that it doesn't save. It saves one note as opposed to multiple of them. So, once you save it, you have to download it, pull it off the thing, off the device, and whether it Bluetooths or not. So really, if the Jot, which I didn't look at, I'll have to admit, if the Jot does a Bluetooth and you can sync it right to your phone after you save it and then erase it, then the only difference is that when you can save it without syncing it multiple of them, multiple notes. Other than that, if you are okay with writing something down and syncing it to moving it to your phone or moving it to your computer, then get the Jot and you get it for a third of the cost.
Gotcha. Thank you for the review.
I know it wasn't great, but I didn't have any.
Excellent. I mean, no. I mean, look, I want to know what doesn't work. I mean, that's you told me what I want to know. It's like, here, this is what it says it does, and it does this, and this is what I need to do, and it doesn't. So,
yeah,
that's a good customer review.
Mm-hmm.
But if it fits somebody's bill, then get it.
How much was that one?
Around $90.
Okay.
$90 for the board. It comes with a stylus. $20 for the case, and then they said you need another stylus, so I bought another stylus with it that came separately, and this was $20. So really, unless you think you're going to lose the stylus, so now I have a board, a stylus, I have two styluses.
You'll have it on Craigslist next week, the whole thing.
No, I'll use it. I'm going to take it with me to a conference, but it's it's definitely one of those things that it may land up in my bag, it may not, as opposed to, that's always in my bag, and I always know where to look for it because it's always right there.
Well, just think, a few years from now, you can have it like what Tim's showing us with some of the old stuff. That
I could Martin's Corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait a minute, that's the boogie
funny.
board from last Monday. Oh man, that didn't last very long.
Oh man, that's too much.
So, what you guys? Anything exciting over the last week?
I'm trying to think. I saw the movie, rented the movie Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Interstellar. Yeah, Interstellar.
How was it?
I didn't get it. I mean, visually it's really nice, but the story, the concept, I was. My wife goes, "Well, there's 3 hours I won't get back."
Jeez.
Yeah.
My son wants to see it. I don't remember. I remember seeing parts of it, but it may have just been advertisements. So
was it at the theater? I can't even remember being.
It was at the theater.
Maybe not too long. But I think it had good reviews. But I mean, I'm glad I watched it. I mean, visually it was nice, but the story without giving anything away was, I don't know. I'm confused. Still confused.
Yeah.
But it could be me because I'm not very intelligent. So.
What was that movie? I don't remember what that was.
It's just a sci-fi movie.
I mean, who was in it?
Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway.
Okay, I don't think I saw it then.
So the IMDb says, in Earth's future, a global crop blight and a second dust bowl are slowly rendering the planet uninhabitable. Professor Brand, who is Michael Caine, a brilliant NASA physicist, is working on plans to save mankind by transporting Earth's population to a new home via a wormhole. But first, Brand must send former NASA pilot Cooper, who is Matthew McConaughey, and a team of researchers through the wormhole and across the galaxy to find out which of the 3 planets could be mankind's new home.
Okay, so did you say Michael Caine?
Yeah, Michael Caine, Matthew McConaughey.
It's Michael Caine and Matthew McConaughey in a sci-fi.
And Anne Hathaway and Jessica Chastain.
I'm starting to see where maybe this didn't go. Maybe why this didn't go anywhere. Because I can already tell you. I wouldn't understand that either. Just from that.
Right. I mean, it got 8.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
I understand it's very good. Yeah.
I mean, the concept is good. I don't want to give it away. Just the way it ended.
2, 1, lift off. All right.
There you go. Me and my Cadillac. Going through space.
I mean, it seemed like a few months. I forget how long it was. But when he came back to Earth, it was like 20 some years later. I just gave it away. Doggone it.
Oh,
love this
great.
Spoiler alert.
All right, if you heard it, there you go. I'm trying to think. I went on vacation, came
How
back.
was that? You know, because we did mention that. You went to Disneyland, right?
No, I went to Utah. My son went to Disneyland.
Oh,
Came
okay. I was
back.
very confused.
Yeah. I did get a chance to unplug, kind of forcefully. I was out in the middle of nowhere, but it was good. I realized after a couple days, about 2 days in, I thought, you know what? I haven't even opened my laptop. I had my phone. I was checking my phone, but it was nice. It was oddly refreshing. And then yesterday was a complete Monday of epic proportions. So nothing.
Yesterday was, huh?
Yeah.
Because today's Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
It was
Well,
actually Monday, huh? Just ran into Tuesday.
Yeah, it did. Was it Monday? Was it? I don't know what day it was, but I came back and deployed a new laptop or a new computer. Picked it up on Monday, deployed it yesterday. Stopped by there today, and I walked around the corner because you never know. And the lady was standing up, kind of doing the fake bowing down to me, and I thought, all right, that must be, in the words of Matthew McConaughey, all right, all right, all right.
All right.
She said this is what a new computer looks like, right? Because she was running an old clamshell Dell running Windows 7, and it was just slow. So we got her up and running with the new Dell. She likes it. Everything's running really smooth. I was ecstatic because you never know. Came into had one customer who was really frustrated with their copier, and I knew that they were frustrated with their copier, and they were working on trying. Well, they got a replacement. Same model or same brand, different model, higher model, and they had it for about a week, and they were just totally frustrated with it and very angry. And they were told, because I was on vacation, they said don't call Martin because he's on vacation. They said okay. So she said, I don't care when you get a new copier in here, I need it Thursday or Friday. So they come and they deliver it on Friday, and they say, well, where's your IT guy? And she says, he's on vacation and I can't call him. Now, this copier scans to an SMB share on the network. It emails out, and it faxes in, and none of these, all the configurations weren't available because I was on vacation.
So basically, it's just plug and play, right? He just had to drop it off and hook it up. That's it.
Yeah. Right, but they don't have any of the configurations.
That's what I'm saying. It's
right.
Obviously there was a bit of work required to set this up properly.
Right. So I get there. I get a text from him Monday. Hey, we got a new copier, scanner, fax, and we need it set up. And I'm like, what? I don't have time. Like, okay, shift some stuff around, and I got them up and running at minimal, but they're testing it, so they don't want me to put a whole lot of time in it. So they can scan, they can save to the SMB share where they're supposed to, and that's it. They can fax. Actually, the fax wasn't even working. You can fax in. The phone line's good. You can fax, but you can't fax out. I think the machine itself is broken, but it's
interesting.
Kind of a bit of a day on that one.
That's funny. That's great. I mean, it's like calling your mechanic saying, "Yeah, I'm bringing the car down. I need a head gasket. I'll pick it up tomorrow. Thanks. Bye." Right,
and I know you're on vacation, but if you could do it, the day you get back.
Because you'll have nothing else to do.
Right. So, it was good though. We got that up and running. But yeah, it was. We got back and everything. It was running real smooth. Nice time. Plane broke down in Spokane. That was always fun.
Oh my gosh! On the ground?
Yes, I was. We were waiting for the plane. So
okay, let's pass.
Geographically, I don't know why they did this, but coming home from Salt Lake City, we flew from Salt Lake City to Seattle, which is 3 hours away, to Spokane, which is 5 hours away, and then back to Portland. That's how we were coming home. Well, we landed in Spokane, and we were hungry and kind of grumpy because we had to be up early, and we get there, and Spokane is pretty tiny. A beautiful little town, but super tiny airport. Never had been there before. There is a restaurant, and a Starbucks. So we ate at the restaurant, and then then they said we'll be boarding soon, and so we're like, okay, scarf our food.
Can we get a user review?
Right. It was good. It was actually it was good. Scarfed our food down because they're boarding, and then they have a headlight out, or they had a light bulb out on the plane. That took an hour and a half.
Wow, for a headlight, huh?
Headlight, light bulb, I don't know. Maybe
that's fantastic.
So not sure which light bulb was out, I'm not sure.
Is there more than one?
I don't know. If Fred was here, I'd ask him if that's code for, hey, the engine's about ready to fall off. But
or the pilot's asleep in a hotel room with some
right,
fraud.
right. Pilot's drunk, needs an hour and a half to sober up. There's a light bulb in.
Yeah, you do this with your hand. It's out.
The light bulb needs changing.
Yeah.
Tacoma, Washington. Were you there any? Is that far from where any of the places you were at?
That's
well,
right.
Seattle. Tacoma is just south of Seattle.
Yeah, we have a facility there. Matter of fact, I put some stuff away that we got from there today. 8 cases.
Where are you coming out this way?
No, I'm talking about my employer has.
Oh, well, I think you should. I think you needed to drive your Ford truck to the Tacoma station.
I don't have a Ford truck.
You do? You drive a Ford right every day.
Me?
Yeah, at work. And that's what you do? You drive a Ford truck?
Work. I thought you said Ford. F-O-R.
I did too.
That was a joke.
Hey, look, I'm going deaf as it is anyway.
It's all right.
I'm living in the past.
Now I totally lost my train of
Oh, that's great. Martin, get the point.
I forgot.
You were putting stuff away from Spokane, Washington, or something.
Oh, you know what? We have customers in New York City, right? They have a ban on styrofoam, like foam products, that July 16th they can't have no more. So we're going to lose a lot of business, but they're going to substitute with. What's the difference between plastic and styrofoam? Plastic's not biodegradable as far as I know, but paper products, and so hopefully they're going to replace it with paper products. So we're going to amp up production like 15-20%. So hopefully that will get replaced by the products, paper goods, disposable product goods. But I think California's doing it too. I don't know if it's in effect there, but I guess a lot of people, a lot of these states are getting conscious of the environment. So, I mean, I thought this was going to happen sooner or later.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for them to repeal my big foam finger when I go to football games or something.
That's why the company bought us, because they knew this was going to happen. They're mainly just in the foam, but they bought us because we're in paper and plastic.
Diversify so that their main product doesn't get something will fall back on.
Trying to think of. Tim, did you do anything?
I did get into something interesting, and this was kind of just a little personal project. I didn't make any headway at all, but on your laptop, we take a laptop part, and it's actually it's really universal of anything that involves an antenna at the surface mount component level. You got I think the thing that most people would be able to, most of our listeners would be familiar with is the leads for wireless antenna. And so when you go to remove that little wireless card, there's usually 2 wires, white and black, that are connected to it, and it's a real funny little connector, right? It's got it's not like male or female. It's almost like it's like a little hermaphrodite, 2 little hermaphrodites stick together. If you want to picture that in your mind, but you don't have to. But you know what? I cannot find. I can't. First of all, I'll tell you how I got into this was that it wasn't just to try and use the word hermaphrodite on our show and get away with it. But the cell phones, when you crack your cell phones open, you get into a lot of them have these very same ports. And so I was just playing around with an old broken cell phone. I thought, I wonder if I could hook up these leads, and so I was just playing around with that and see what kind of what that would do to reception, make it better, make it worse, no change, just playing around. But I was shocked to find that what appeared to be the same, once I got some wires out of a laptop and I got to connect the phone, it wouldn't fit. I mean, it was like they were very different, actually, the connections. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And so I started looking at other things, like there's I've got some I got a bunch of antennas that fit to USB receivers for like a TV television. Jeez, if you want to capture like television channels or I I'm kind of losing my own train of thought here in the middle of the thing, but those have usually there's that USB job has that same connector on it, and so it takes the adapter, and then the adapter has the typical coax connector you're familiar with. Well, that's different. That's a whole different thing. And then I dug out every any kind of antenna thing that had like that connector, and I was shocked. And so then I Wikipedia it. I don't think I ever did get the name up, but there's like maybe it wasn't Wikipedia, but there's it turns out there's many of these little connections. I thought, I'll be darned. So that was I don't know, one of those things that I didn't realize how many of those little connections or connectors are available. They're very similar, but they're different, and I never really I never quite got the name of them, what they're called. So Googling them became a real problem, and so anyway, that was kind of like my head scratcher for the week. I had a blast though. I mean, I was digging around, finding these things, trying to make. I was tinkering, which that's when I'm happiest. So that's the most exciting thing that I got into. A fantastic story. I can tell.
No, so you were trying. So I'm gonna just make sure I get this straight. You were hooking up. You were using the wireless antenna on the laptop that goes usually around the screen to hook it up to a cell phone, or vice versa.
You can maybe you can see it right here. See the connector right there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, and it's very. It looked to me like it's the same as the little connections that are on a wireless card that would go into a laptop. And yeah, I mean that's the board out of a.
Okay, so that's okay. I see. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, and so I was just playing around, because I have a couple phones here that it's cellular or actually and Wi-Fi too. That it seems to have become weaker over time. It's become degraded. At times when I should expect it to have like good connectivity, it doesn't. Other phones, there's no problem, and so it's kind of had my wheels turning for a while. And I mean, I've had a partner. I remember I had these little connectors on. I thought, well, I'm not using this phone. What if I did this? And I, just with parts laying around, try and rig up some kind of antenna. And so yeah, I mean, it was just kind of a little project I was playing around with. But I was stymied by the fact that these aren't the same connectors. So. Anyway, like I said, it just using stuff I got laying around. I do this from time to time, get into stuff. I opened up a old wireless router. Those had different connect. I mean, it was shocking. Like everything had a very similar but different connector. In all this time, I thought they were all pretty much the same.
Yeah, I know which ones you're talking about there, like the little brass ones, and I'm always having to used a pair of pliers or something to try. I was looking around to see if I had some, because whenever I take something apart like that, I have to push it back in, and I can't push it in with my fingers. It's such a small pressure point that I can never get it to go in, and I'm always afraid I'm going to break them.
Really, pliers?
Well, or something, because I can't.
Usually get a fingernail underneath it and just pop it off. I mean, yeah, if you're tugging at the wire like you would imagine, you would probably pull the thing apart.
Right. Yeah. I usually can't get a hook underneath there for some reason. I usually have to just grab like a pair of needle nose pliers or forceps or something. You just grab them, pop them off. But even to put them on, because whenever I can get them in the spot, but whenever I go to push down, I always feel like I'm going to bend something.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. And I have too. There was a time where I pried one off, and for whatever reason it was unusually stubborn, and I didn't realize at the time, but I went to reconnect it, it wouldn't go back together. And here I had it become malformed somehow, so I had to like kind of crush it back into shape this way and that a few times until it finally did snap back on there and stay. But yeah, it is a fairly fragile looking connection. It has all the little like 4 tabs around it that have to be in just so, but then there's also like a little metal pin in the center of it that has to be just so, and it can be easily damaged like that. So
I think whenever I think of those little metal pins, I think of old IDE cables, because I think everybody has done it where the IDE cable doesn't come off straight, so then you have a couple of them are bent funny, and you have to, you put on the cable then straight, or you put on the cable and it's not going right, and you move the cable and you realize that one of the pins has fallen over.
Yes.
And so I'm always thinking, I'm going to break this.
Well, and I think that, of course, that leads directly to what everybody's thinking of is when the processors had all of the male pins on the back of it. You were almost guaranteed to have one or two that got just a little bit out of shape. God forbid it got mishandled or something while you had it out, and there was like a couple rows of them bent over.
Right.
And anybody who's done any amount of this knows that the trick was to get it like a ballpoint pen with the tip not not clicked out but clicked in, and you could take that and you could put it over each pin, straighten them out. But when they went to the the processors with the they had just it's just a row of dots on the back of it, right? And so it just mounts right up. It's like, well, it's genius. What took them so long to figure that out?
Yeah,
right.
You remember the story? This is years ago. A guy, he wanted me to work on his computer, and he brought it in, but he got in there first, and he wanted to get all the dust out. And he
I remember this. Yeah.
Pulled the heat sink and fan out as one piece.
Yeah.
He put it on. He smashed all the pins. I mean, all of them. I mean, out there tried to do what you just said. I mean, I had, and I couldn't do it. I mean, I got a new CPU. It all worked out well, but it was just like, and this guy's a mechanic at work. He's mechanic. I mean, they're awfully for the company, and but he had no idea. I don't know what I did, but since I did it, it won't boot up anymore.
I'll bet it won't. That's great. So it was even harder to put back in than it was to pull out.
Funny thing is, I bought it. I ordered a new one, and I found one on Craigslist nearby for like $10. And so I had that new one lying around for years. Sepron, AMD Sepron. I wound up throwing it away. It was so old.
I remember that story. That was a great story because as you're telling it, he's like, he brought me his computer, to work or whatever, and he pulled the processor out while he was cleaning the dust. It's like how clean did he want to get it?
And I asked him, do you need anything backed up? Does anything need to be backed up? Because I wound up doing a clean install. No, we don't need nothing. And are you positive? No. Where's my stuff? Where's this? Where's that? I can't get to that website anymore. Well, you said you didn't need anything backed up. I didn't back anything up. It was horrible.
Oh, you meant saved.
Oh,
man. Yeah, I'm always.
Well, so type it in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that one. I've gotten to the point now where I've got a computer that I'm going to be reloading coming up. Let's see, the 11th.
Bless you.
Sorry about that. So what happened was it's a new computer. Well, it's an i5, Core i5. It's just not running very well. It's not on the domain. The gentleman's been using it for a while. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get another hard drive for it and a new Office product because he's running an old Office. We're going to get the new Office. And then I'm just going to pull out the hard drive, put the new hard drive in, and then reinstall Windows onto the new hard drive. That way the data is on the old hard drive still. We just copy what was needed. I've just found that if it's a fairly older machine or the users had it for a while and they're using it all the time, I'll see about kind of convincing them to see if we can, just purchase a new hard drive. They're not that expensive. Sometimes, if it's been a couple years, maybe they need more space. Maybe there's a new faster hard drive. Maybe they want to switch to an SSD. But it's not all the time, and I take everything into consideration. But I know this guy uses his laptop a lot. It's probably needs, it's acted a little funky every now and then. So we're just going to put a new hard drive in. But
you know what? That's a really good thought because that's something that don't often consider. Automatically. It's that. Why not just do that? And especially in a laptop, I love the idea of an SSD in a laptop because there's no moving parts. And we had this. I know we had a discussion in a chat with earlier this week where, here at my house, we have older laptops. I've put SSDs in. They can't take full advantage of all the read-write speeds. Doesn't matter. I mean, the thing just runs better. But a laptop in my house is a transient thing. I see my wife has. The kids have it. It goes here. It goes there. You know what? a traditional drive with spinning platters, it's good for about 3 months until it finally takes. They just set it down, or they opening and closing the lid. It takes a little bit of, it gets jarred, and now it won't boot. Dad, it won't boot. Nothing in this house ever boots. It's like, oh, here we go. So those SSDs, I mean, they're perfect for that. And it doesn't have to be the kid. The kids just accelerate things, but everybody's eventually going to do something to a laptop. And
Right.
I know that I can open the lid and it's still latched, and I grab it. It snaps out of my hand, and so the thing gets jacked up a half inch, but that's all it takes. And so I love the SSDs in a laptop. But just automatically considering that, hey, we do this, let's just switch out the drives, and at that point in the service life of the machine, you're probably looking at a pretty good tune-up anyway. A lot of times, so this kind of kills that bird. With that stone, and you can probably just kind of figure that the remaining service life of that machine is probably going to set you won't have to deal with hard drive problems. I like it. It's a good idea, Martin, and I think that's a pretty good thing to do.
Well, the one thing you do want to remember when dealing with an SSD is that it's data recovery is, I don't know if it's not possible, but it's very hard to recover data, and I almost want to say that it's not feasible to recover data off of an SSD just because it doesn't, the way that it is, because it has only so many read writes, and if the hard drive ever crashes, you're done. There's no recovery of it. So if you do use an SSD, definitely want to make sure that you have some kind of a backup.
Yeah, put a regular spin drive in there for your data. That's what this computer I'm on right now. That's how I have it set up. I have a OCZ SSD in here.
So, but you have two. So you've got a space for two hard drives.
I have two hard drives in it. One's an SSD and one's a terabyte drive with my data drive. Like anything I save, it goes on the data. I don't want nothing of any importance on the desktop.
Right, but if you don't have space for two hard drives, make sure you back it up.
Right.
Which is good. Which you should be doing anyway, especially if these are enterprise customers in a business environment, right, Martin? These people should be wandering the earth with laptops. It's not being backed up.
Right.
The SSD is not the reason to be backing up. It's a good reason for everybody to back up, but these people should be backing up anyway. So.
Yeah.
Asterisk, warning, small print. It should be doing it. You should be doing it anyway. So, but no, I agree. I think that just automatically saying, hey, let's throw a new drive in it. That's great. It's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to do that on the 17th. Excuse me, not the 11th. 17th. I purchased these little devices not a couple years ago, maybe a year ago, and all it is.
There you go.
So all it is let me adjust the video again. All it is two USB on the bottom, one standard power on the top, and then it plugs into your normal outlet. The problem is that it's so big here on the top that even if I go to the bottom outlet, it still covers it. So this has to sit in the top outlet. So you lose a power to gain two USB. Okay. Saw this on Kickstarter. This is called the Snap Power Charger. It's a USB charger in a cover plate, and it says no wiring. Here is the link for that. This is a device that the cover plate pulls.
Oh yeah.
So you just get a plate, and there's only one USB, or is there two USB? No, it looks like there's only one USB on the bottom.
There's one.
And what it does is you pull your normal plate off, you put this one on, and there's metal tabs on the side of it, and the side of those metal tabs touch the screws on the outlet. You just have to all you do is just put it in, and the metal tabs touches the screws on the power outlet in the power casing. What do they call that? I don't know. Electric.
Yeah. So it's basically what it is. Instead of being a big bulky unit that just kind of snaps onto the standard receptacle, what you're doing, you're pulling off. All you pull off the cover plate that's there. One screw. Pull off the cover plate that's there. This essentially is just another cover plate, but it's got a USB connection at the bottom. And the big sell is, hey, there's no wiring. And I'm thinking, how do they do that? And it's clever. It's really clever because they show that on the back of this new cover plate, there's just two metal tabs that stick out, and as you put it in place, the two metal tabs contact the screws on the sides of the existing receptacle. So you pull off cover plate, put this one on, one screw, you're done. It's really clever.
Yeah. So it's a Kickstarter. It's already met its goals. So it has 43 days to go. They needed $35,000. They currently have $409,000.
So a lot of other people thought it was a very clever idea.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
With 43 days to go, I went ahead and I backed this project. I think I bought the 30. What did I buy here? I think I spent.
What did you get, about 400,000? You get about 400,000 of that?
Yeah, I got the. You know. So I think they had a 30 or 30. They had a $36. They had a $36 one where you get 3 of them, and they'll contact us. They'll contact me later on because they come in the standard 2 circular ones, or if you have the decor one, which is the kind of the square looking power outlets.
Sure.
They either one. So $36, and it was like $3 for shipping or something like that. So $39, and I'm gonna get 3 of them. And if they work, that's going to be pretty sweet. You will lose a USB compared to my little device. I'll gain a power, but I'll lose a USB. But really, I only need 1. So this is a pretty cool idea, and all it does is those little tabs just touch the side of the outlet that's already in place, and it pulls power from there.
Yeah, no wiring.
No wiring, and it says 2 seconds. I was looking at there was a little video, and it shows them, step 1, it says, well, turn the power off. Insert the thing and then screw it and then turn it on again. So I don't know. I may not be able to. I may not turn the power off. So
I wouldn't. I recommend others too, but ask for it.
So I thought this was a pretty cool one, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to get till August, so I have some time. I just got a notice today actually from the other Kickstarter that I had. Was the Fire Stick or the Matchstick, which is Mozilla's kind of Google or USB or HDMI into the back of the TV type thing.
Oh, okay, sure.
And it keeps being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So they keep having hardware issues and other issues, and so I gave them money, and they're working on it, but they're every now and then I get an email of, yeah, we were supposed to ship this month, and well, no, we'll let you know. So, okay. I did a job yesterday, and so I got a call a week and a half ago from one of our listeners. I went into town to help him out, and he had taken pictures, and one of the pictures shows they're just having random network issues, and one of the pictures shows a little Linksys, and I think I remember talking about this, a little Linksys box and the WAN port. There's a cable plugged in the WAN port, so I already know, without even doing anything, that there's 2 networks already. Okay, so we go and we just redo the whole thing. We take out we reset the wireless, put it back on one network. Got them all up and running. They were very pleased, very happy. We signed IP addresses to printers, and then I just signed IP addresses to servers, so there wasn't just a big conglomeration of DHCP stuff. And then today, last night, I got an email because they couldn't scan. So they use the Nuance Paperport software to scan, and you usually will find this will come with any of the brother printer stuff. You install the scanner feature and you get the control center, but then you get this Nuance PDF reader scanning software, and admittedly by the company it's not very user friendly. It's kind of a pain. Instead of scanning, which most of the places in kind of an enterprise environment, you'll have a scanner, and when you scan it, it saves to a central repository, and then everybody just goes to the central repository. The way this works is when you scan it, it interfaces with this Nuance Paperport, and it saves it on your local machine. So if you scan from computer 1, you can't go to computer 3 and get the scanned document because it's on computer 1 still. So that's a problem. But what happens is at this shop there were 2 scanners.
Can you change that folder? Can you change the folder to a map drive? Or
no. Well, you can, but they don't have anything like that set up. You would just what you would do is you would not use the Nuance paper port, and you would just say when you go, you scan it, because what it is you put the paper in the scanner, walk back to your computer, hit scan, scans it, saves it locally. If you were to do the SMB, you go to the computer, you hit scan, and then you choose the folder and scan it right from the scanner, and then it scans it, and then you go back to your computer and open the shared drive. Does that make sense? So you're not interfacing with the software. You go to the scanner and tell it to scan to the local share.
No, I got it.
So they have two scanners there. One's a Samsung and one's a Ricoh Aficionado C4500. The Nuance thing found the Samsung, and so when we changed the IP address to the Samsung, it updated itself. Everything was fine, no problems. The Ricoh cannot talk to Nuance without a set of Twain drivers, and that's the scanning it's not OCR, but remember the Twain drivers that you used to have to do, especially with cameras.
Oh, sure.
So when we changed the printer IP address, we had to change the IP address on the computers, which then allowed the computers to print. Check. Did that job. But when you change this printer when you change the IP address on the scanner, you have to go in and change the IP address in the Twain drivers. So then the Nuance talks to the Twain, and then the Twain talks to the scanner, and then back and forth. So the middleman was broken. So we went in today and had to, but there's very little documentation about this. So last night I was messing with it remotely, figured it out. Well, luckily. I know. Luckily,
I'm sorry, but this was the stuff that made me want to drive into a bridge abutment.
Oh, it is. And last night, the computer that wasn't working that I was trying to fix because I needed remote access and I wasn't sure what to do, I needed to work on it. The Twain driver was broken and corrupt. So I had to reinstall the Twain driver, reinstall the printer software, and then it worked. So while I have a fuller understanding of how all this works now, and so today I was able to go in, we were able to hit each machine, and bing, bing, bing. Bob's my uncle-in-law, and they were up and running. Everything was fine, but it was such a pain. And these are the things that, like you said, makes you want to just drive into a bridge, drive up a bridge lift, and just plummet into the Willamette River. And it's. Oh my gosh, it's a huge pain. So
just laughing maniacally on the way down.
Yeah. But while I was there, we were trying to figure out, because some of the ports are hot, some of them aren't, and really they may need a rework at one point, but they don't seem so interested. But who knows? So I needed to test out one of the ports to see if it was hot, because then we can go in the back and make it hot. So I have one of the Fluke network, the Link Sprinter. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So, and you plug it in, you hit the little button, it checks for link, it checks for wireless, it checks for the link, it checks for connectivity, what speed, what the host is or the gateway is, and then goes out and pings your program of choice or your web of choice, and then it will email you. So then on my phone, ding, I get an email and I can see all this information. Or if it's not working correctly or you don't think it's going out, you can turn on the wireless on the device itself and then sync, and then it'll email you via its own little wireless through an app.
Well, hold on though. I mean, this isn't a $15 Kickstarter product.
No, this one is the Link Sprinter 200 because it has the wireless with it, and it's $299. Okay, that was the only one they had at the time. Now they actually have 3 of them. They have the Link Sprinter 100, which is just the network tester, no wireless, and that is $199. And these are all Amazon prices. They have the 200, which is the same thing with wireless, with its own Wi-Fi for $299. Now they have the Link Sprinter 300.
Whoa.
Wi-Fi, so network tester with Wi-Fi and distance to cable fault indication.
That is cool.
So $399. So I sent an email out to the gentleman who's here locally because he was like, "Hey, could you send me the link of that device? Because I'm interested." So I'm going to see if I can sell it to him. I'm hoping he read the email before listening to the show. But I want to sell it to you, and that way I can buy the other one, because I'll buy the other one because I use it enough that the distance to fault location would be useful to say, oh, there's a program here, or hey, this run is 400 feet, or well, it can't be 400 feet because it only goes 300, but you know what I mean. Well, Yeah. So, but this one is $3.99. So I'm hoping he will buy my other one. If not, I may throw it out to the Geeksters community and say, "Hey, I've got one for sale."
That's a pretty fantastic device.
So, if you're interested in one, like I said, it's not the full $900 Fluke. It doesn't have a great digital display at all, or any digital display, but I use it all the time. It's just great. You just plug it in, hold the button, turn it on, and it emails you when it finds all the information.
Outstanding.
Yeah, it's
outstanding.
Yeah, if you listen to the Sunday show on Podnuts with Jeff Hallish, I'm sorry, no, it was one of the Podnuts Daily show that Jeff did with Marvin B.
Yeah, that was the last one.
Yeah, and he talked about that using the Fluke on a job he had where, a long story short, there was two servers on there dishing out the.
The DHCP.
Yeah, conflict, and that thing found it like within minutes. He had it figured out.
Yep. Yeah, I have seen that at other sites, and that is when RAM goes bad on your laptop or your desktop, and it makes the screen flicker or the CD tray open and close, or it just doesn't, like random odd things, and it's because RAM's going bad. When you get two DHCP scopes on the network, it's kind of like that. Like it'll portray itself as the internet's down, or the the DNS isn't working, or just random stuff, and it's because you get two DHCP scopes and it doesn't know what to do. Speaking of,
literally, symptoms could be just almost anything. It's hard to work from the symptoms and work yourself back to that.
Right. Until you finally go, is there another one? And then you go, oh man, it causes huge issues. So. But speaking of that printer that was installed while I was on vacation that weren't allowed to call me, the scanner, I went in, I was messing with it, I changed the IP address, and it saved funny. And then I got a call later on that same day, this would have been Monday, saying the internet's down, their VoIP phones aren't working, nothing's correct, everything's broken. So I go in there to check it out, see what's going on, and I go to the scanner, and the scanner had made itself the router IP address. The primary router IP address.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So
gosh.
I usually make .1 as my primary. Whatever .1 is your primary. That's your gateway and stuff like that. So
sure.
the scanner was .1. So what happened? All the data when it was trying to go to the internet was going to the scanner and stopping.
It's got an awfully inflated sense of ego.
Oh my. I got there and I was like, well, we fixed it right away because.
Well, I heard that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's my new name. Instead of Dad at my house, I want to be called .1.
There you go. 127.0.0.1. Just .1.
Just .1.
.1. We had to make what brought this one on. And so here, I found this article, and actually this came from Matthew Williams. Lord D, sometimes you see him in Google+. This says it's VLAN, how to segment a small LAN. Have you guys ever heard, probably have heard of what VLANs are? They're kind of virtual LANs.
Yeah, I haven't set one up, but yeah, sure.
Well, I haven't set one up. It's been a long time since I've set one up, and so what they are, and I just took this from the first little paragraph that says, the VLAN or virtual LAN is a technology that enables dividing a physical network into logical segments at layer 2. Functionally, VLANs enable a network administrator to partition a network into separate, independent networks. There are many reasons to operate a network into VLANs and numerous options to consider. So, say you want to have a VLAN for, a lot of times you'll see them for VoIP systems, or maybe you want to have a private network and a public network. A lot of times sometimes a VLAN switch provides a DHCP, so you can have your router providing DHCP for like your private, and then the VLAN providing another DHCP for the VLAN, like VLAN 1, and then you have VLAN 2. They can't cross, so it's a great way to segment things out. One of my clients, we were going to be installing new wireless devices, and I kind of had to write up a proposal for big to small. Like how are we going to do this? And one of the options was to go with a fully managed wireless system where it's just dumb access points. They all get controlled by a central controller. They're power over Ethernet, so we'd have to get new cables pulled because then we need to get a PoE switch, and then put VLAN, so there's private and public and all that kind of stuff. So then that was one option. The next option down was to do the same thing but use different devices that like TP-Link, just access points. You can do VLANs inside of those. We would still need power over Ethernet. And then the next option down was to go with just a TP-Link or any kind of just a router, because some of the places needed switches as well. So we went with the router option that has a guest network built into it. It's on the cheaper level. We were able to go gig speeds instead of 100, but we don't have the actual physical separation like you would with the VLAN, or the logical separation with the like you would do with the VLAN. So, but they do have a guest network in them. So they said, let's just go that route. So, but because it's been a while since I've done VLANs, I wanted to look into it more. So this looks like it's a great article. It's from Small Net Builder. Unfortunately, it has 6 pages because the page, page 1 is only about a quarter of the actual web page. But there is a print button at the top, and usually that print button drops out to a new page, a new window, and it just has everything kind of consolidated into one. And from there, I was able to print it out, and I think it was 17 pages. If you can hear the noise in the background, it's hailing outside. So
Wow.
apologize. That's what the rumbling is outside. But I like to throw this out there every now and then, just something to ponder, just something to think about, something not necessarily light reading, but it looks like there's a whole lot of stuff on this site, smallnetbuilder.com, how to set up a file and print sharing between 2 routers, multicasting, measuring a network performance, and with lots of diagrams and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and bookmark. I've already bookmarked this site just as one to just kind of refer to. It looks like it's, we're not huge enterprise stuff, but we're not break fix. Looks like it's a good website for just referring to stuff and just learning something new.
It looks like an interesting article. I'm definitely gonna read that a little bit closer because it does it looks like it does a really thorough job of setting up the VLANs. That's a really good site for what you're talking about. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah. I was at the school today working on a project, and I forgot about this app, and I don't remember if I've ever brought it here. SpecOps does a lot of kind of Active Directory type tools. One of the tools that they have is called SpecOps. It's called GP Update, and what this will do is, when you deal with routers and you deal with Active Directory and group policies, you can either reboot the computer or you have to run a command to update the group policy, and it's called GP Update. But what if you're in a lab where you need to, I've got 30 computers in a lab. I don't really want to go to every single computer, maybe even reboot them, or I don't want to go to every single computer, drop out to command prompt to type GP update /force, to force the update. I need something that's going to help me do this stuff automatically. Well, this is a free program. You do have to register, give me your username and password, or just give me your username. And it does email you the link to your email, so you can't give them a fake email. But if you run this, you just install it on the computer that has Active Directory in it, and it creates links for refreshing the policy, a remote restart. Now it has a WSUS client, so you can force a WSUS on there. But what's really cool is you can highlight all the computers you want to do, right-click on them, and say reboot. And it sends out the reboot command, and you can give it parameters of how many seconds to wait to notify whatever. It'll reboot all the computers at one time for you. Or you say, hey, do a GP update force. It'll run that command on all the computers at the same time. And it's free. So if you have a small lab, or even if you don't have a small lab, because you can choose, or a small Active Directory, you can choose one computer to many computers and just say run this command. It's really easy to use. It's very simple, and it's free. So it's from SpecOps, and it's called their GP Update program.
But you have to have Active Directory installed.
Right, because it does. Yeah, because
That's
it's
going to be a server, you would imagine, right?
yeah, it's going to be on a Windows server. So this is not really going to be used for homes, but small networks or even big networks. You can. I've used it on bigger networks and just but then if you have all your computers segmented out into like a lab folder, then you can just reboot all the computers in the one lab, or maybe you just want to reboot one computer. So if you do use Active Directory, check out this tool because you install it, it just installs, puts links there, and you just run with it. It doesn't need very little configuration. If I don't ever, man, I don't even remember configuring it because you install it on a admin profile or a profile that has domain admin rights, and it just runs. I just realized that today it had an update, ran it, and I was able to sit in the back of the lab, make some changes, and then reboot the computers, make some changes, and then update it, and without ever going around touching all the computers.
Yeah. What does it when it speaks of wake on LAN function? What is it? What's it referring to? I mean, to me, the wake on LAN function, especially with machines, that's like a BIOS setting on each individual machine. What is it referring there to? I'm getting the impression that's something you can do with it.
Well, I have a feeling what they're doing is you can send out the wake on LAN command. So if you need to update, you need to turn on a whole bunch of computers, you can force it. You can send the command to all of them.
Okay, it's not actually referring to changing that or making that setting, but actually taking advantage of it. Sending that command remotely.
Yes.
I got you. Okay, all right. That does sound very cool. That product. I could see why you would be getting a lot out of that. I mean, not just wake on LAN. There's a lot going on there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I said, I uninstalled it and reinstalled the new one today, and it didn't take very long at all. So, just give it a shot.
I do love me a magic packet.
Yes. I don't know what to say. I just shake my head and say yes.
I wasn't looking for a response.
All right. I was trying to think of what else I had done this week. I think I went over just a lot. It wasn't being gone last week was some of it, and then this week it's been stuff. I'm doing a big. So Friday, I'm doing a big hosted exchange deployment. So we're taking I think we're taking 20 users. No, more than that. We're taking 37 users, and most of the users have two or computers themselves. You desktop, maybe a laptop or their phone, and we're moving them from a POP to a hosted exchange. So that's a big project on Friday. Softball season started. I already have my official rules of softball right here. 2015. Wow. There it is. I'm a coach. Obando Computing is hosting is a sponsor of the team this year. So I got my logo. Nice. My logo is going to be on.
Any arguments from you with the rule book in your hand?
Maybe. Well, see, I'm on the board as well. So I'm on the board. I'm an assistant coach, and I'm sponsor of the team. Man,
so basically, there will be no arguments with him.
There will be no arguments. I have different hats I'll put on. What am I doing here? What am I? So.
And I think baseball starts Monday, opening day for the Orioles.
Does it really?
I think it is.
Oh, that's what I love that. That's that's the official beginning of spring right there. I do love to hear that.
Yeah, we got a player from your team, Travis. What's his name?
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I forgot. I got to look it up.
Baseball is something that's just all in the background to me, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah. So that's what I got. Nothing.
Yeah, that's enough, Mark. I mean, for a guy that actually was talking about having a vacation or something, there, Jimmy.
It's a learning. It's always a learning experience for me because I know nothing about this stuff.
I agree.
I got people calling me up. For advice, I'll say, Google it, leave me alone, Google it.
Leave me alone. I did receive I received this text.
Put that on a business card.
I received this text earlier today that says, "Hello there. This is," and then it lists the daughter's name. One of the girls. My dad gave me your number because my computer seems to be having a virus or something. He told me you were the man to talk to.
Yeah.
So her father was one of the gentlemen who had never used Linux at all, ever. Had an old Windows XP machine. It was an old Toshiba. We put 4 gigs of RAM in it. It maxed out at 3, so we went from 1 to 3. I threw just a Windows-y version of Linux on it, gave it to him with Firefox, because I think he liked Firefox over Chrome or something like that, and LibreOffice, handed it to him, showed him how to use it, showed him how to save stuff. I mean, really, I talked with him for maybe 15 minutes, and I've seen it once. He's only contacted me once about it, and I followed up with him to make sure that everything's working. And the time that I followed up with him, the reason he contacted me was because the screen went out and we had to order a new screen. And he was just chomping at the bit. Is the screen in? Is the screen in? Is the screen in? Because as soon as it came in, it was a pretty easy fix. But he has just ran with it. So when people say, well, Linux is hard to use, it depends on what you're going to do with it. But I gave this gentleman, he just needed a simple word processing, needed to be able to get online, and that's it. And it just worked for him. And you know what it cost him? A little bit of time, a little bit of my time. But he's able to repurpose an older machine and not have to do anything.
Nice. Well, when a man's daughter has a virus, it's a good note. You're the first person he thinks of.
Well, and also, I think she's also, well, yeah. Oh, I wasn't even thinking that. Now you got me thinking that. She pitches, and she's going to come teach our girls how to pitch. She's a pitching coach.
Oh, nice.
So
you can't get enough of that.
Right. So I'm going to help her out. She's going to help us get our pitchers up to speed. She
Very
pitched
nice.
competitively in high school for many years.
Competitively in high school. Okay, I got you.
Well, she pitched in high school on the softball team, and then competitive.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Externally.
Okay. Very cool.
Well, guys, is that a wrap?
It's a wrap.
All right. Well, Tim, if people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way they can do that?
I'm Tim Bauermeister on Google+.
Nice. I'm M. Obando on Google+, Martin at obandocomputing.com, and you can catch me. I'm Obando Computing in the chat. I'm kind of in and out all over the place depending on how work goes. Sometimes I'm there, sometimes I'm not. It just is what it is. Mitch, if you want to send us an email or voicemail, or even just email you to say, Mitch, I hope your Orioles do good.
Yeah. You can do that at geeksters@podnuts.com or send us a voicemail at 707-6-PODNUT. That's 707-676-3688.
Very nice. All right, guys. Well, it's Easter. Have a great Easter. Spring starts. So the next time we get together, it's going to be the second. It'll be after the second. Nope, it won't be after the second Tuesday of the month. Never mind. Well, we have another week to reminisce about.
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. But have a safe holidays if you're traveling to family this weekend, and we'll catch you next week, guys. See ya.
Okay, that's a wrap. What is this? 52? 152?
153.
53.
Yeah, Dor has not posted 52 yet.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought so. I thought something looked weird.
What's on eBay?
Huh?
Tim posted something on eBay.
No, you know what? I was just clicking the. I was going to eBay, and I was just lazy, and I was just clicking it out on the on-screen keyboard, but apparently I didn't have the right window.
I'm playing Pac-Man.
I didn't have the right window and I was like, I wonder where I just wrote eBay to. Oh, there it is.
So it is still hailing outside.
Wow.
It looks,
how big?
Well, it's not big. It's just a lot of it. It's covering the roofs.
Wow.
So I was going to go drive somewhere, but I'm not sure I want to drive with that much hail on the road.
You have a garage you can keep your cars in? It's not like they're going to get hammered or anything?
It's a very old car. I'm not too worried about the...
Okay.
It's small. It's, pebble-sized hail, but it's just a lot of it.
Hmm.
So the problem is now I'm going to go out there and have to go somewhere, and I'm going to have a 16th to an 1/8 inch of hail on the road. Can you hear it?
No.
Oh, good. It's like hail, yeah. Let's see if I can.
Very nice.
If my camera
Very,
will.
very nice.
Cleaning it up.
I can adjust that. Oh, wrong way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it.
But rainy is typical for there, right? In that area, right?
Yeah, but it's just all that white is hail. So.
And they're talking about California running out of Woodard in the next couple of years.
Yeah. Man, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the broadcast, guys.
Hey,
thanks for
guys.
for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. It's always fun having viewers watch the show. All right, guys.